Right. Well, hey, if you're just joining us right now, you can skip ahead about 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes, and that should be take you to the intro to the show. And so we'll catch you then as you time warp away. If you're watching and listening to us in real time, I can't help you. There's nothing I can do. The charge nurse can't make it yesterday. Oh, okay. Well, live. And whenever I come to our podcast YouTube page early, it never shows it until I kind of back out and go back in again. Ah, there we go. And it just shows your picture when it shows live.
Me?
Yeah, just your picture. It's just you are the thumbnail.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
All right.
Lucky internet then.
All right. One watching now. And I have said hello to everyone if they're out there, which not yet. And letting everyone know the spoiler, Mark won't be with us tonight.
Well, I mean, he will. It will just be virtual Mark.
Virtual VM.
Say hello, virtual Mark.
It's just going to be a total shit show, I think.
All right, so we are 2.5 minutes out. Mark. Oh wait, no Mark. All right.
How are you not watching the time that's on the screen?
I did. That's why I said two and a half
Okay.
minutes.
All right.
Because I'm seeing the time on the screen. And this one. Pugsley wants to give me a second monitor. He's like desperate to get me to use this monitor.
It's nice. I got to admit. Did you just disappear? I think maybe you just disappeared. Yeah, seems like it's just me now.
No.
Oh, there you
no.
are. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird. It just dropped me on out.
Well, you probably ought to mention that you're in a new location.
I am. Well, I'm going to. That's part of the intro.
Yeah.
There's a person yelling at a thing. The most horrible traps used in the Vietnam War. 1.2 million views.
That's why they call it clickbait, my friend.
Yes, indeed. You think, oh, that might be interesting. Oh, more folks have said hi. Tim's here. Hey, Tim. You were alone with the missus for a little while. Okay, that's good. And about ready to hit the go button?
I suppose so.
It's just going to be like a big phone call if you don't, if we don't have a show. All right. I have some names you haven't heard in a long time. But and some of you've heard.
So I'll kind of be like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now there's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Oh, like he forgot himself in 15 years?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Of course I know him. He is me. Oh my God! We got movie sign.
Movie sign.
Bants and Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bombs and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome, everyone, to the 92nd live edition of Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your dedicated...
And you dropped right out again, so I guess I'll have to take over. I may end up doing most of this myself tonight. Because John is actually in a new location, not like really physically, but just in our house. For the entirety of this podcast, except for like the first few, he had been downstairs laptop and microphone, as am I. But since we have had T-Bone, our oldest child, has moved out and begun his actual adult life, things are gone in his bedroom, and John has taken over that as mission control for the podcast and now his new office. And apparently, either YouTube or Zoom just does not like that, because it is not working so well tonight. And if he can hear me, I can't hear you. There you are. There you are.
It just took me out. This is the second time it's rebooted, so we'll have to assume that'll happen again. So, how far did I get?
Not very far.
As always, I'm your dedicated and humble host.
That's about as far as you got.
John Wilder, coming to you from the penthouse control room of the majestic Wilder Industries skyscraper. With this is Mark's not here. Yeah,
no, Mark's not here, so we do have virtual Mark.
It's just going to be a total shit show, I think.
And the missus in the deep bunker at an undisclosed location buried deep in the bowels of the earth. I wrote of the earth twice. So that must be important.
It's the important part. It's not Mars. It is the Earth.
It is Earth. Well, so the news is actually the boy moved out. And
I've already covered this. I covered this while you dropped out.
Okay. Well, so that now I'm coming from a new location.
Slightly new location.
Slightly new location.
You're not quite directly above me.
Not quite. No, but actually I'm physically closer to you than I was.
That's true. But yet I can't hear you in the other room like I could when we were actually in the same level together.
There you go. Well, shall we try and do this show?
Well, we'll try. If you drop out, I'll just take over.
Okay. All right. Well, first off, just what the heck is going on in Russia? Here to shed very little news on the matter are dead-eyed Secretary of State Anthony Wink and Blink and Nod on Sundays Meet the Press on NBC.
It's hard to put myself in Putin's head or Prigozhin's for that matter. And keep in mind, both individuals are responsible for terrible acts committed against the Ukrainian people. Also, in the case of Wagner, in country after country in Africa, wherever Wagner goes, death and destruction and exploitation follow. But I think it does point to the fact that this is an internal matter. This is a challenge coming from within to Putin, and that's where his focus has been. Our focus is resolutely and relentlessly on Ukraine, making sure that it had what it needs to defend itself and to take back territory that Russia has seized. The President brought together the National Security Cabinet. He brought together our key allies and partners to make sure that the unity of purpose, the unity of action that we've had with regard to Ukraine remains, and it does.
He's saying they don't have any idea what's going on. What's your translation on that?
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say, is that thank God we have a Secretary of State who we pay all this money to, and he has this very important position to tell us what we could all pretty much gather from watching the evening news.
Well, and it's funny because after this happened, apparently the CIA went and said, oh, yeah, we knew something was up. Did you? Did you really?
Well, because I kind of think our CIA was behind it. Of course, we've come out and officially said we had nothing to do with it, which of course means we were totally behind that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and if so, we did a horrible job because, it was definitely a failed coup attempt. That's for
well,
certain.
Come on, since this whole thing started, the only thing that people that are very much supporters on this, and again, I'm not against what's going on, I'm a fence sitter. My feeling on this whole thing is, why can't they both lose? And with this, it looks like we might be well on that course to both of them losing. But my feeling has been, what I've heard all along is, well, somebody just needs to take Putin out. And then it happens, and it just happens to be this guy.
Yeah.
I think he just dropped out again completely. But anyway, this guy, what's his name? I can't spell his name, let alone pronounce it. Prigozhin? Close enough. The guy in the middle. Suddenly he's got this social club, the German social club. That's this group, right? And then he marches on Moscow, which is just really weird. So who the hell knows what's going on? Clearly, our government either really does or they really don't. So, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. John may be back. We have a little thing for you, but I was kind of hoping he would be around for this. That's really kind of all I have to say about the whole Russia thing. Russia, Russia, Russia. It's always Russia. And I guess as John isn't here, he'll just have to join in. But we do have a brand new Kicking Up the Heels game show just for you, and here it is.
It's hard to put myself
Oops.
in Putin's head.
Helps when I hit the right button. Here we go.
Wheel of Russia!
Welcome to Wheel of Russia, the game show where you spin to win or lose head. I am host, Vladimir Putin. Pleased to be saying hello to contestants. Former hero and current traitor, Yevgeny Prigozhin.
Screw you, Putin.
Shut up, traitor. Our next contestant is former actor and comedian and current president of Ukraine, Vladimir Crazy Z. Zelensky.
It's pronounced Volodymyr.
Shut up, pig. And finally, a housewife from South Moscow, Gladys.
Thank you, Vlad. I'm so happy to be here.
Welcome, Gladys. It's nice to have you here, too. Now that we know players, let's play Wheel of Russia. Gladys, you spin first. Hey, it landed on vacation in St. Petersburg.
Oh, yay! I can't believe I won!
Yay, good job, Gladys. Zelensky, spin, pig. Oh, so sorry. You landed on go back to Ukraine. Off you go.
No, wait, you can't do this. I am president, and there are no elections. I am president. You cannot touch me.
Prigozhin, your turn.
Constitution we wrote.
Spin, traitor. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You landed on fail. Cool surprise. Let's see what you've won. He never even saw it coming. Well, that's all for today, folks. Please do be joining us next time for Wheel of Russia.
Wheel of Russia!
Not a game show on which I am likely to buy a vowel. John Wilder, you out there? Or am I still here on my flying solo by myself? Sounds like I'm still all on my own. Just what I've always been planning for. I had no idea this was even coming. I feel like Prigozhin? How do I even say that guy's name? I don't even know. All right, well, let's move on. Forward, upwards and onwards. Whistles have been blowing all over the place, but especially in Washington, D.C. Do they possibly lead to the U.S. Attorney General or the big guy himself? Who can say? Here is the story, though, from CBS News. Now nothing's working. Oh, there we go.
If this was any other person, they likely would have already served their sentence.
Gary Shapley was a lead IRS supervisory agent in Operation Sportsman, the investigation into Hunter Biden. Shapley said he uncovered conduct that warranted more serious charges.
There were personal expenses that were taken as business expenses. Prostitutes, sex club memberships, hotel rooms for purported drug dealers.
How much did Hunter Biden owe in taxes?
So from 2014 to 2019, it was $2.2 million.
The back taxes were paid off, and last week, the Trump-appointed U.S. Attorney in Delaware, David Weiss, reached an agreement with Hunter Biden. The president's son would admit to a firearm charge and plead guilty for his failure to pay taxes. If a judge signs off, the deal means no jail time.
Testimony we have just released details a lack of U.S. Attorney independence.
And Shapley told lawmakers that U.S. Attorney Weiss was blocked from bringing stronger charges. But U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland said last week that Weiss was not.
I'd say he was given complete authority to make all decisions on his own.
I documented exactly what happened, and it doesn't seem to match what the Attorney General or the U.S. Attorney are saying today.
And I'm here.
All
it's
right.
kind of like a crapshoot, right?
It really kind of is.
Oh, I tried shutting it down and restarting it, so we'll see how that works. Anyway.
That's okay. You know, it's always exciting when we have to talk about how our technology is not working.
Well, that means everyone gets to drink.
That's right.
All right. So, all that
we're boned.
So one of my favorite memes that I saw this week and I shared multiple times is Hunter and a woman in bed, and Hunter saying, "Hey, let's go, baby." And she says, "But Hunter, do you have protection?" And he pulls a picture of Merrick Garland out of his pants and puts it on the bedside table. "Yeah, baby, we're protected."
Maybe that's how he ended up impregnating that pole dancer in Arkansas.
Hey, don't run too far ahead of one of our favorite Think Real Fast. So. Yes, indeed.
Okay, I won't say anything more than that. We'll save that one for later.
I'm sure Daddy was proud. And Tim did note and give applause for Wheel of Russia, which I was very pleased with the way that came out.
Thank you.
All right. Since
And
it's
everyone
about 3
knows
minutes.
it.
From the Irony Files, a leading scholar at Harvard is under fire, not in under fire, for allegedly falsifying his findings in a famous study on, wait for it, honesty. Francesca Gino has been placed on administrative leave by the university pending the results. The creepy newsbot has the story.
Francesca Gino, a prominent professor at Harvard Business School known for researching dishonesty and unethical behavior, has been accused of submitting work that contained falsified results. The university found that in a 2012 paper, it appeared someone had added and altered figures in its database. The study in question looked at whether honesty in tax and insurance paperwork differed between participants who were asked to sign truthfulness declarations at the top of the page versus at the bottom. The academic journal that originally published the work has since retracted it.
And this was a very popular study, too, that this person is accused of falsifying. And by the way, I wrote that story for you, and I misgendered this person. Francesca Gino is, in fact, female.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Did you hear that? That was a big boom. Oh, 4th of July weekend. Never mind.
Yeah. They're shooting at us! Hit the deck!
Tadano Hito helpfully notes that I should use the Ethernet port, which is halfway across the room. So I can't. From the iron, well, this used to be his room. I blew his cover.
You did. Now everyone knows who he is. He's going to change his screen name now. Oh, wait a minute. Did you hear another bang?
FBI, open up!
Hey, did you hear that? The squeaking noise? It's really annoying. It sure would be nice just to turn it off and not cost $1 million worth of
Wait,
damage.
I had sound effects for this. You started too quickly. See, this is part of the problem here, is that, this is the problem I was having when you weren't here, is that normally while you and Mark are talking, I'm doing other stuff here in the background, like getting ready to do stuff like this. Now you can start reading that story.
Hey, do you hear that? That squeaking noise? It's really annoying. It sure would be nice just to turn it off and not cause $1 million worth of damage. That's probably what went through the mind, of a janitor in Troy, New York, back in September of 2020.
A janitor cleaning at the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute shut off a circuit breaker on September 17, 2020, cutting power to freezers storing cell cultures, samples, and other research elements that were stored at -112 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature in the freezer rose quickly, destroying all of the research. The school has filed a lawsuit against the cleaning company that employed the janitor.
Are you gone again?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is not the smoothest running podcast to date so far.
That's okay. That's okay. Jake from State Farm notes that they make long Ethernet cables, and to which my response is, I don't think I have an Ethernet port, maybe a huffing port. Because So, can you tell us a little bit more about the stuff that they lost?
I have no idea what the stuff that they lost was. That's really about the length of the story that I found about it.
I believe it was a bunch of frozen stuff.
Well, clearly it was, since it was in a freezer that was kept at 115 degrees below zero. I think that was a safe bet. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Well, you had me read the story, so I figured you'd have that. So maybe I shouldn't have. Is that Francesca? The picture you have up there now?
I don't have a picture up there now. I think you're lagging.
Yes, it is.
I think that must be part of the problem. No, I can very clearly see what I have on the screen.
Okay,
You're behind.
Yeah. Well, and that's a girl, I think.
Do you want to see Francesca? Yeah, it's the girl in the red shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. I finally saw that. Okay.
Yeah.
For a long time, I had Tony Shapley or whatever his name was. All right. Time to move on to congratulations to all of worst Korea.
No, best Korea. Yeah. Oh, you're right. It is West Korea.
It is West Korea.
Yeah.
A new law that went into effect today means everyone is getting younger. Take it away, Newsbot.
For centuries, Koreans inflated ages compared with the rest of the world. An individual is 1 year old at birth, and everyone gains a year together on January 1st. A New Year's Eve baby turns 2 after a single day. The new law will switch everyone to the international age standard, which starts people at 0 on the day they are born. Koreans already born will get younger and use their birth to determine how old they are. Official documents will start using the international measure, too. Getting older based on calendar years rather than birth dates is a remnant of ancient culture in East Asian countries, which generally also considered time spent in the womb as part of age.
So there you go. Everybody in Korea getting younger. It's good work if you can get it.
Well, but only in West Korea.
That's right.
That looks a lot less fun than North Korea. I mean, you look at North Korea and everybody's still standing in straight lines. It's all pretty. Oh, well.
Well, I mean, they're standing in straight lines so they can get a scrap of food.
Or not get shot.
Yeah, or not get shot.
Really, it's the not get shot part. Well, but I think they're very, very, they look very, very unkindly on people being drunk at work. And so if someone, for instance, were giving a drunk national weather report.
Well, sometimes it helps if you're a little bit drunk at work. Like maybe if you are giving the national weather report. Anyway, let's see what we have for the weather this weekend, shall we? Since it is the 4th of July weekend.
And now here is Stacy with your national forecast.
Okay, right? Hi. The National Weather Service the rest of the week is either dry and hot or hot and dry or hot and rainy, depending on where you live or something. Look for severe weather in the upper northwest and thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast as we move into the weekend. Weekends, yay! Woo! Out west, the heat wave continues with temperatures back in the triple digits. That's more than 100. Or no, 100 is triple, so 100 or more. In Texas, California, Southern California, and parts of Utah. We may see some rain and thunderstorms moving into Colorado and New Mexico as severe thunderstorm rain moves to the Rockies. We'll be keeping a close eye on the Gulf Coast as we head into the weekend. Yay, party! Where conditions give us about a 30% chance of developing a tropical depression. Not depressed right now. Along the Florida, spring break handles. The spring break handle. It's the panhandle. I don't know, what do they call it? Okay, if you plan on any outdoor activities for the weekend, why would you? Those of you along the Gulf Coast they need to keep an umbrella handy. The rest of us need to make sure to pack the sunscreen and plenty drink of water. I mean, drink plenty of water. Drink plenty. That's me, Stacy.
Well, I think if you're getting your weather from Stacy, wear a coat maybe this weekend.
Well, she certainly got the highs right. If you were interested, that was me being Stacy. That's an oldie but a goodie. That was pretty good. I'd forgotten how funny that one was. Oh, well, you know what time that is.
This is Neil Young.
Hey, get that jackass out of here!
And I'm proud to present my Braying Jackass of the Week.
All right, we got 3 this week. The first is don't vote yet, because the last one's pretty strong case.
Wait for it.
Yep, President Brandon Magoo, who had this to say while hosting Indian President Modi this week.
I was just thinking, anyway, I started off without you. And I sold a lot of state secrets and a lot of very important things that we shared.
I think he's completely lost the plot.
You know, it's interesting to see all the covering for him, too. Because he did go on to say, all kidding aside after he said that, right? But, you know, when people have accused you of murdering your wife, you might want to not joke about murdering your wife. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like OJ and his book, If I Did It. Because it comes off as making you maybe look, I don't know, a little guilty.
Yep, a little guilty. Well, so we have Brandon Magoo, always a strong competitor, and there's no Kamala this week, so we don't have our reigning champion. California Representative Adam Schiff on being officially censured by the House last week.
To my Republican colleagues who introduced this resolution, I thank you. You honor me with your enmity. You flatter me with this falsehood. You who are the authors of a big lie about the last election must condemn the truth tellers, and I stand proudly before you.
So he went on after that particular clip there to say, you know, well, clearly because people were so against what I was doing, that means I was right in what I was doing. And by that logic, that would suggest that Trump, whom the government has been after since 2015, likewise was on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
Just following Mr. Schiff's own logic there.
Yes. Well,
actual picture that I took of Representative Schiff there on the screen.
Yes. Copyright us. And let's close out Pride Month. This is candidate number 3 with the New York City Drag Pride Parade, who marched in the streets chanting this.
And again, the mainstream media cover for that has been, oh, they say that all the time. They're just saying that to reclaim all the stereotypes. Again, when people think that's exactly what you're doing, the way to convince them that it's not what you're doing typically isn't to say that.
And when people think that you might be degenerate, walking around naked, engaged in sex acts with other people, might not be the best way to show them your whole.
Well, that particular picture that is up there was from this actual New York City Pride Parade. The woman in the corner with the sunglasses on her head, I caught her at just the right instant when I took the screen cap of that.
Yeah,
because she doesn't have anything on under that open shirt.
Of course not.
Yeah.
How do you know it's a she? You're making a lot of presumptions there.
Good point.
Okay. Well, do we have any votes from our live studio audience? I'll make Tim mad, but 3, I guess. when someone is saying that and you get, well, I guess number 3, that tells you how bad they were. Any other votes? Because I feel exactly like Tim. And so, since nobody else has voted, that makes it unanimous. Congratulations, New York City Drag Parade. You are the jackass of the week.
Yeah, that's right. And this has been Neil Young's Braying Jackass of the Week.
I dearly, dearly love to send them an actual trophy of the horse's ass.
Mhm.
But you know what? I hate to think what they do.
I know. Yeah.
So that brings us to.
Oh.
Think real fast.
Okay. If you like tossed pizza, you should go to New York City, where pizza was tossed at City Hall. Why? The Big Apple is getting ready to ban pizza made in charcoal ovens. Mark, why does New York ruin everything?
Oh, wait. I got to get virtual Mark up here.
It's just going to be a total shit show, I think.
See, Mark's answer on that just works for everything, doesn't it?
Well, I think I'll just keep my questions to Mark, and we'll just have him answer.
Okay.
The missus, do
Yes.
you think it was Walter White who led this particular protest?
I don't know. See, I thought that phrase went differently. That it wasn't tossed pizza. It was, oh, wait a minute. We aren't talking about the pride thing anymore, are we?
No.
Never mind. Never mind. I was thinking something else. Hey, you said it, not me.
Well, yeah, Caesar salad. Anyway, next topic, 250 celebrities from Hollywood signed a letter demanding big tech censor anyone who opposes sex change for toddlers. Mark, is it time for no to get the vote?
It's just going to be a total shit show, I think.
I think Mark is right about
I
that
will
again.
never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus.
That never fails to make me laugh. It's just the exasperated sigh in the middle.
Yes, indeed. The missus, how can Alyssa Milano, Alan Cumming, Amy Schumer, Ariana Grande, Cara Delevingne, Cynthia Nixon, Demi Lovato, the infamous Dylan Mulvaney, Elliot Page, Griffin Dunn, who surprisingly is still alive, Jamie Lee Curtis, who, well, I'm not going to go there, Jazz Jennings, Cal Penn, Lena Dunham, Mandy Patinkin, Martha Plimpton, likewise still alive, Rosario Dawson, boy, you want to talk about the dead career file here, Taika Waititi, and Zoe Deschanel, along with 200 people you've never heard of, like Haya Rodriguez and Jonathan Van Ness. How could they be wrong?
What are they supposed to be right about?
The big tech should be censoring anyone who opposes sex change.
Oh, right. That list was so long, I forgot what we were even talking about. Yeah, right. I really need to find that Nipsey Russell clip. That's a great one. Yeah, but my only response to that is,
She's such an idiot!
that's why. And they all need to bump up their numbers. They have their numbers are flagging. You're right. They're on those people are still alive list. That's why.
Yeah, again, Griffin Dunn.
Just spell my name right.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of him doing anything since like 1986, and he was in some movie where his head was like part of a clock watch fob, is all I can remember.
Yeah,
so Griffin Dunn. All right, Brisbane, Australia is thinking to change its name before the 2032 Olympics to Mianjin in order to please the indigenous peoples. Mark, do you think they should just rename it Horrible Colonizer Land?
It's just going to be a total shit show, I think.
They should just rename it that. Total S show. Yeah.
Are we now hoping for global warming so that Australia will sink beneath the waves and spare us all from Australia?
Only if they take California with it.
That's a fair trade. Speaking of things we don't want to lose, the Swiss are vetoing sending the Yuki's 96 Swiss tanks that the Swiss bought from the Italians, probably due to the fast reverse speed. Mark, would it be a kindness to not give Italian military equipment to, well, anyone?
It's just going to be a total shit show, I think.
Mark is always on point with that comment, man.
The missus, isn't this like keeping a lighter away from a toddler?
No, because there might be some positive things the toddler might do with the lighter.
Like the way you read. That was a good one. Senator from Florida, little Marco Rubio, has noted that he has heard firsthand accounts of UFOs from people scared, and there are reported provisions in the latest defense bill to criminalize secret UFO programs. Mark, why won't they just admit it was a weather balloon?
It's just going to be a total shit show, I think.
Again, can't argue with that, man.
What do unmarked helicopters do?
Just gonna get those little legs moving. Come on.
So what do the unmarked helicopters do?
I don't know. Leave unmarked helicopter droppings on your porch?
No, they hover. They hover.
I like my answer better.
No. Illegals from Africa?
Sometimes my genius is... it's almost frightening.
Illegals from Africa are protesting in Maine because their criminal entry into the United States has been in vain because no one has given them houses. They even get, gasp, expired food. That's a crime. Mark, what do you think is appropriate, trebuchet or helicopter?
It's just going to be a total shit show, I think.
The missus, should Maine send them to Washington, D.C.?
I think that qualifies as cruel and unusual punishment.
For who?
That's a good question. Fair point. Let me think on that. I might amend my statement.
Peter jumped in. He notes that kids aren't allowed to watch PG-13 movies, get tattoos or piercings, or own guns without parental consent, but they should be allowed to choose to mutilate themselves, and parents have no say.
Are you kidding me? In some states, 12-year-olds aren't even allowed to stay home by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
California.
I'm not either.
That's true.
And he also notes that he's in favor of the trebuchet. All right.
It'd be entertaining.
Yes. All right. So now we are at the, we are at the last Think Real Fast, which I saved the best for last. Now it's all done. The stripper that Hunter boinked has won $5,000 a month child support payments after Hunter refused to show his financial documents over the child he's never met. Part of the settlement is the child can't use the name Biden. Mark, is it because Hunter Biden doesn't want his last name and legacy of whores and drugs and degeneracy and corruption sullied?
It's just going to be a total shit show, I think.
And actually, I think probably the stripper mother of him might want to be careful with using the Biden last name, because I'm not sure that whores and strippers would want to be associated with the Biden last name.
See, that was
if a lot of the things that are coming out are true.
Oh, this
it could get ugly.
This is the Hakuna Matata moment, because here's the question I had for you.
Okay.
The missus, why would a stripper consent to a relationship with someone so far beneath her station?
Well, $5,000 a month. I mean, that's almost as much as she's going to make in temps at the strip bar. So.
She named the kid Navy. The kid's name is Navy. Yeah, that's,
and it's a girl.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
And Peter notes, LOL, truth there. Kids going to grow up saying, Mom, you should never have said anything. Now I got to live with this. And I'll add on this back, couldn't you just let them think you were a whore?
Nice.
Think real fast.
Well, it looks like my internet connection finally got stable. Just in time to say whore a bunch of times. But come on, you got to admit it's
we
very,
can explain it more slowly if you need us to.
Frederick.
And it's just not as much fun saying sex worker. So anyway, do you have any more thoughts on this rather fractured technical day?
No, I don't know what's going on. Our internet connection's been weird for quite some time now.
Well, there was a big rainstorm last night, and it got a little wonky.
Don't think it's the rain.
You think it's Pugsley related?
I don't know what it is. Well, and our two tech masters were out to check out and see what was going on, and their conclusion was that there is some device that has been newly added to our household that does not have the password to the Wi-Fi, but it keeps hitting it because it's trying to get on, and that's what's slowing our internet down.
Hello.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's kind of hilarious. And yeah,
it gets annoying after a while, doesn't it?
It's like living with a 4-year-old. Anyway, yep. I've got to say, I really like the new control room. It's not yet complete. Hopefully, it sounded okay, except the moments I was actually there.
And some would say that was when it sounded better.
Well, yes, that's true. But we will be back next week for the July
Are we?
5th.
I thought we weren't coming back next week. I thought we were taking July 4th week off.
We are coming back next week for the movie, the comedy movie special.
The what?
The comedy movie special.
I guess I didn't get that memo.
We talked. Oh wait, you were drinking. Yeah, we did talk about this. All right. Well,
apparently I was drinking a lot, so it must have been a good night.
Thanks to everyone for coming. And
he's John. Mark's not here. I'm the missus. We'll see you next week, I guess. Y'all come back now. You're here.